All right, hello. I just did this 24-minute video and when I shared my screen, I did it wrong. So I'm doing it again. Hi, I'm Kevin Kearns, retired fire captain with the Los Angeles City Fire Department. I worked there for 33 years and over 25 of those years I was a captain. Above me, a little fun fact about myself, above me is my father's retirement axe. He did 30 years with the LA City Fire Department as a captain, and that's my retirement axe. To my left is a picture of my grandfather, who was also a captain on the LA City Fire Department. In fact, he died in the line of duty at a fire, 1950. Very sad. I wasn't born, I didn't know him, and later I got to see pictures of the fire. Very interesting. Over here, I've got my two sons that are both captains with the LA City Fire Department. One's a captain two, one's a captain one who works in crew training. The captain two, he works at Reseda. And I have a son-in-law who is a captain with West Covina Fire Department. One of my boys is a captain paramedic, and my son-in-law is a captain paramedic. So the formula I'm going to talk about today, my formula for becoming a firefighter, these two and my son-in-law followed it. And many people I've mentored for the last 40 years have followed basically the same idea, and it seems to work for them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share my screen, which is where I made my big mistake last time. So hopefully it says formula becoming a firefighter. And so first of all, you got to know what departments are looking for. And they're looking for behaviors. They're looking for education, adaptability skills, problem solving skills, but not just problem solving, creative or thinking outside the box type problem solving skills. I'll tell you why. Good teammates and people who have natural compassion about them. That's what they're looking for. So how do we get these behaviors? I talked about education. Most all of you are either in high school or graduated high school, or you got your GED, and now you're in college, okay, which is great. If you're in college and you don't have your AA degree, you're working towards your AA degree. In an interview, you would say, I'm working towards my AA degree. If I have my AA degree in an interview, you tell them I'm working towards my bachelor's degree, because we always want to show that we're progressing, we're trying to do good behaviors. If you have a bachelor's, I'm working towards my master's, and so forth. Work history. Most of us all had entry level, which is great because that's how you start learning about customer service, about team building, about situational awareness. When you first get that first job, you have a very narrow focus on things, and as time goes on, you get better at speaking to people, seeing things that are going on, situational awareness, being able to think and react on your feet in stressful situations. So entry level work is great. If you're in the trades, a plumber, a carpenter, anything like that, awesome. Military background, that segues in great with the fireman service because you understand chain of command, you understand the importance of being educated, being able to problem solve, think outside the box, being able to do this under stress. So plus you get 5 points added to your score after you take your interview. So all work is good work. You learn a lot. If you had any promotions, always talk about that. If you have any related experiences, you've been to a fire academy, great. Ambulance operator, last year, LA City, 86% of what they did was medical. So being an ambulance operator, great. Paramedic, I call it the big P, huge money savings. I'll talk about that. Military, again, 5 points added, great background. Lifeguard, think about it. You're working in a team, you're protecting people, you got to have situational awareness, you have to have good customer service skills, you've got to be able to have received training and apply it. So it segues in great with the fire department. Forest Service, outstanding. Police officer, being a member of sports teams in high school or college, all good related experiences to have. I talk about volunteer experience. It's hard to say How do we know you're compassionate? Because they're looking for compassionate people, I told you. So how do we know? LA City Fire Department, they think people who volunteer their time are selfless individuals thinking of others before themselves. That's right out of their playbook. That's how they feel people show compassion for others. So, what are you going to talk about in an interview? Education. What's the bridge? Why is it so important? I ram this down my students over and over and over. Why it's so important is for 21 career. That's the bridge to always remember. You're going to a 20-week fire academy where they're going to throw a lot of information at you in a lot of subject matters. You have to be able to come in every day, maybe take a written test or go out in the yard and do a manipulative test, ladders, knots, whatever, every day. Then you get out of the academy, you go, thank God, you throw your hat in the air, you go, yay, I'm out. Guess what? For 1 year, never stops every day. Like those captains, those members out there, they're training you, they're testing you, they're seeing if you can receive more training and apply it. And you finally get your year probation in, you get your shield, which means you're no longer a rookie. And guess what? We train every single day in the fire service. Every day. There's not a day that goes by we don't learn something. A new radio comes in, we got to learn a whole new radio. It never stops coming at you. And that's why education is so important. 20-week fire academy, 1 year probation, and throughout your career, you have to be able to take this information, retain it, and apply it. Now, do you have to go to a fire academy? No. All education is great education. You're exercising your brain, just like lifting weights. You get stronger by going to school. You're exercising your brain on the same thing. You're learning a lot of information in a lot of different subject matters. You have to be able to retain it and apply it, right? So it's good. Now, I'm going to talk about things I think you should do if you're going to, for the educational portion, but that's just me. Problem solving. Okay, and we're looking, most departments are, in fact, all departments are looking for creative problem solvers. Not somebody who can just solve a problem, they can think outside the box. Team players, people who work well within a team, not swimmers, not, I always make a joke, I always say not tennis players or swimmers, but that's just one person, right? But no, I know they can be great team players. We're looking for people who work well in groups of people, they work together. That's what we're looking for. And compassion, I already talked about. So how do I get problem solving skills? I believe you get it through your work history mainly. Like I said, you first start, you have a very narrow focus. You're just trying to do your job. And as time goes on, you're opening up your focus. Now you're able to get more situational awareness of what's going on around you, thinking 2 steps ahead, and doing it under stress a lot of times, coming up with creative solutions to difficult problems. In the fire service, you're going to walk out the academy, you're going to have a big tool bag. Not literally, but we teach you ladders, knots, tools, equipment, policies, procedures, a giant tool bag of information that you have. You're going to get on scene, and you're not always going to have a captain or another firefighter with you. And something's going to come up that you have to solve. And you go, oh, here's my tool bag. And you're going to look at your tool bag, and it's not going to work. Now you're a firefighter. That's what I tell my people. When that tool bag's not working and you got to think on your feet, make it happen, now you're a firefighter. Maybe I get somebody else, a civilian, whatever. I use 2 tools and then come up with this creative way to make it get done. That's what they're looking for. That's exactly what they're looking for, a creative problem solver. And I believe you get that through your work history. So they're looking for team players. And I told you, sports is great. College sports. In your education, you're working teams and creating projects and whatnot. And in your work history, you work in a team. So the bridge for this, why they're looking for that, is because 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 firefighters are going to arrive on scene together. And they're going to pool their experience and training. All of us show up with a different level of experience and training. And depending on the subject matter, as captain, and I have a paramedic in the back seat, they have a higher subject matter than I do. They can tell me what to do. There's as far as scene safety, other things like that, I'm in charge. When they anything medically, they say, Cap, this is what we're doing. That's it. It's like, so we all have a different level of experience and training. We combine it and we bring success from difficult situations. That's why we need good team players in any sport. All 11 are not the same. They're all different. They all have a different level of experience and training. They combine it and win the game, right? Same thing in the fire service. So you want to get, I believe you become a good team player. Hopefully you played sports. If you didn't, you're probably getting it through your work history or maybe other activities that you do. They're looking for that behavior in you. Compassion. Most departments are looking for people who work within their communities. They volunteer their time, cancer research, this, that, whatever it is, going on walks, picking up papers at the beach. They're involved in their community. That's who they're looking for. It's not about me. It's about helping others. So you're serving the public, not about you. You're there to serve. People, and I'm not going to tell you I haven't been in stations where you have people, we call it me. Everything's about me. How does this affect me? They don't really think about anybody else. They don't fit in too well because they're not a team player and you get exposed very quickly. So, but in an interview, how do I know you're a team compassionate person? A lot of times you want to talk about working in your community. Then we know you have that natural compassion about you. So what's missing here in the formula? You've worked towards your AA degree, you've been to a fire academy, and you're an EMT. So you have a lot of education, okay? You've never worked. You haven't done the 9 to 5. So, yeah, but Captain Kern, I went to school, I worked hard getting grades and doing that. I get it. But you really never worked for a living, working around others, 9 to 5, being there 40 hours a week and that kind of thing. So it's got to be well-rounded. So conversely, you have a phenomenal work history, worked your way from the bottom up to a supervisor, and maybe you went out on your own and got your EMT license, or maybe not, but your worker bee. Great. Can you handle the educational part of this, the 21 career? 20-week fire academy, man, it just keeps coming at you, big time. So you're college educated, EMT, fire academy, work history. Okay, awesome. That alone will get you a job. I mean, I can't say 100%, but with that background, you're pretty solid. What's missing? The big P, paramedic. Paramedic is the top of the food chain. That is, top of the food chain is education, work history, EMT, fire academy, paramedic, done. Guaranteed you're going to get a job somewhere. I guarantee it. You'll have multiple offers, no doubt in my mind. Can everybody be a paramedic? No. It's hard to go through paramedic school. It's there's a lot of money involved, huge time commitment. You really can't work going to paramedic school. So you're like 5 to 6 months because you got the didactic, you got all that book work, then you got to go get on a rescue, you got to go to the hospital, all these things you got to do. It takes 5 to 6 months of intensive training. But you walk into an interview room as a paramedic, we see a giant dollar sign. You're saving me $100,000. Why, Captain Kearns? Because they're going to send me to paramedic school. So I go to paramedic school. I'm being paid a salary. They got to fill my seat. So they have to hire somebody to work overtime, time and a half. So that's 2.5 salaries they're paying for. plus the school, plus the books, comes out to like $100,000. You walk into an interview and you say, I've been to a fire academy and I'm a paramedic. Oh, top of the food chain. You just saved me 100 grand. So smaller departments, that's what they're looking for. Small departments want everything. They want work history, EMT, fire academy, paramedic, they want it all. Big departments, believe it or not, they don't want much. Heartbeat and driver's license, and you can take the test. LA City, LA County, heartbeat, driver's license. Will you get hired? Maybe not, probably not, because you're not an EMT, but they'll let you apply, take the test, and you can get an interview. So the smaller they are, the more they want. The bigger they are, the less they want. So I always tell my students, I don't care if you can qualify to take their test, take it. Let them decide if they want you or not. And the story I'm going to tell you is my son is a captain at LA City Fire Department. He's in recruit training. He has a woman that was in his last class, and he thought, man, she's very young looking. So one day he said, hey, so-and-so, when did you graduate high school? He's thinking, 19, whatever, or 20, whatever. And she says, June. She graduated high school in June. What did she have in her background? So big department, big departments want across the board. They want people right out of high school, IT workers, teachers, just all across the board. And at the other end of the spectrum, yeah, you're going to have people that have been to a fire academy and are paramedics and been in the military, but they don't exclusively hire just that. They like across the board. That being said, they hire 70 at LA City. My son said they usually graduate about 45. Why is that? Because they have a heartbeat and driver's license. They don't know what they're walking into. They haven't been to a fire academy, taken fire science classes. They just don't get it. So it just overwhelms them and they wash out. So have a plan. So here's my formula. I think it's the best $20,000 you'll ever spend. Nothing wrong with going to 4-year college, get your BA degree, exercise your brain, great. I don't think you need to. I say go to a community college, take fire science classes, work towards your AA degree. Costs you about $4,000 as you're working your way through. Fire academy right now, Oxnard is about $3,500 total. If you can, if you're smart enough, if you can swing it, you can put your life on hold for 6 months, maybe live with mom and dad, maybe they'll fund it for you. Cost you about $10,000 to $15,000. Miscellaneous, $2,500. Total, $20,000. So go into college, fire science, fire academy. That alone, you just raised the bar. Now it's opened up a lot of places you can go to. A lot of departments want you to at least have been to a fire academy. So they're not a big department, maybe not a real small department, but they're trying to save money. Every time they up the bar, it's because they're trying to save money. The bigger ones, they'll take anybody. So that's my formula right there. That's what my 2 boys did, my son-in-law did. My son-in-law was working at Home Depot, met my daughter, fell in love. She said, well, I'm marrying a firefighter. He called me up. He had a great job at Home Depot. He's 25 years old. I said, this is what I would do. Quit his job. He went to Oxnard, started taking the fire science classes. Then he got a job before he went to the academy. He got on an ambulance for, at the time, was $10 an hour. It was actually $9.95 or something ridiculous. And he got his hours and he got into paramedic school. And then he went to the fire academy. And he got hired #1 by West Covina Fire. But he followed this formula. My boys followed it. They both one did a 4-year degree and then went to the fire academy and so forth. The other one went to Moore Park College, 2 years, fire academy, went to Daniel Freeman as a paramedic, and boom, he got hired. So that's my formula. Let me know what you think. But that's what if I was to sit down with you, that's what I would tell you to do. Now, those of you that are working, I can't do all this stuff. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Take some fire science classes. At least take fire science classes. Now you're working, you're getting a lot of great behaviors. You're learning about the fire service through your fire science classes, and then volunteer in your community. When you go into an interview, you'll do well. Trust me, you really will. You may not be able to get into a smaller department because they raise the bar. The bigger ones, yes, because I told you they're not just looking for this person I'm creating right here. They're not. So that's my formula. Hope it works for you. I highly recommend it. It's been successful for these two. And honestly, I went to college out in the valley, and then I went to took fire science classes, and that's how I got on the fire department. It worked for me too. So good luck to you, and I'll be hoping to hear from you to see how it works out for you.